doing Sketches of Winkle by Ween. This is off the pod. I know I said I was going to do I'll Be Your Johnny on the Spot next, but that's been, I guess, temporarily postponed. Did I say that I was going to do that one next? I don't know. Well, if I did, then spoilers, I guess. But this is one of two requests from, I believe, that same person who requested it. This is one of the more, how do I say, more involved songs when it comes to teaching Ween's songs how to play them on the guitar. Because there's just there's a decent number of parts, which is ironic because there's no real solo in this song, aside from the one at the end, if you want to count that, which I'm not teaching you how to play that, because that's basically just a bunch of nonsense. Diener, as far as I'm aware, pretty much never plays that live. It's not really something that I think is useful to know how to play. It's basically just a bunch of nonsense. That's basically all you can get out of... That's basically what it's like to play that solo. Anyway, I'm not teaching that. I am teaching the entirety of the rest of the song, though. Quick note, this is another one of those songs that's severely warped in terms of speed and pitch. Definitely pitch, I mean tape speed. So what sounds like this... on the album, it's going to sound like this. Right? So but they play it live in E major, in just E. Standard. Anyway, so let's start with that main riff. So we're starting with an E power chord, and that's just a gallop, right? If you're into thrash metal, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but make sure you just palm mute it. For all those who may not know, it's just, you know... You start it with a down, and then you do your gallop, right? So it's the verse starts. You don't just want to start the verse because that might throw you off. So you just do one downstroke to begin it with, right? So it's slow motion, but you can feel it for it when you're playing at full speed, right? So. And then the first half of one of the two licks he does is, which is a really cool riff, total classic kind of metal riff. So we're starting off pentatonic, right? O to 3 to 2 on the A, then open D, then 2 2 2 on the D, then 3 pull off 2 pull off 0. Right? And then the second lick is going to be up here. Right? And there's a harmony to that. I'll get into the harmonies in a minute. So you're basically just trem picking, just going to be, what do you say, pedaling the open note, the open B. Right? So 12, 11, 10, and then 8 to 9, then back to 8. Maybe throw in a little vibrato there. Right? So slow down, it sounds like... Alright, then full speed. Right? And we'll get into harmony in that in a minute. But that's basically the verse. And then the chorus is basically just a chorus. Well, like, there's a pre-chorus, so let's get into that. So that's just going to be holding chords. You're going to be strumming them instead of palm muting them. We're starting off with an E, then a G. You can just play power chords if you want. So E, G, then A, then C, D, and up to speed that's going to sound like... Right? And then during the chorus, this is what we're going to do. So, I know on the album he's doing it more like this. He's just sort of picking it, but live he really likes to palm mute that. Kind of like that. And I just think that sounds better, but on the album it's... He might be doing that sometimes in the album, but you also definitely hear him going. But I just prefer that. And then anyway, we get B flat, then F, And then there's the lick. Before I get into that, I actually want to mention that when I play this, I like to do this, which is just going to 1 to 3 on both of the B flat and F, both with my middle finger on there. You don't have to do that. It's just a little bonus thing I like to do. Anyway, so after that, throw this lick in. Right, so that's just 6 to 8, back to 6, then 5 to 6 to 5, all on the B string, by the way. And slide down to 3, like that. You can also make that last note the 7th on the G, but I'm pretty sure he's sliding back down on the B string on the recording. That also gives you more in position to play the G, right? So you're sliding down to that 3rd fret, so your finger's already sort of in position, right? I guess I'll get into the harmonies of that lick, and then I'll talk about the harmonies for the verse licks. The chorus lick, so as we said, it's this. And the harmony is it's a 5th, which means it's basically the same thing. In fact, you could play it just one person if you want. You could just play like power chords based on the B string. You could just go. I mean, it works, but if you want to play it separately, it's just the same. It's just the same thing, just a 5th higher, which is 2 frets higher and 1 string higher. So, right, or you go, right, and then there's an octave higher of that lick, sorry, which you can just do up an octave, so up 12 frets. You also do it on the E. I prefer doing it up here in the B, which is right. So it's an octave, a 5th, and the original lick. And then we get back into the verse, and I guess I might as well cover the harmonies that crop up for those licks. So for this lick, the only harmony that shows up is an octave, which you can play up here. I'm pretty sure he's playing it up here on the E string on the 12th fret. So 12. I mean, it's the same riff, right? It's just an octave higher. So 12, 15, then 14 on the A, then 12 on the D, then 14 to 15 to 14 to 12. Right? Right. And you can also play it based on the 7th of the A, whichever you prefer. And then with the other lick, well, there's actually a variation of that lick, but for now let's just do the harmony. It's just basically, it's the same thing on the E string for the most part. The first part's the same. But instead of going on the 8th and 9th fret, you're going to do it an octave higher on that those last 2 notes. So it's going to be, all right, so, sorry. All right. And then there's the variation of that. There's actually one part where he just goes on the low E string. He goes, I think he might just be going, I don't even think he's going, I think he might just, he could be doing either though, so whichever. If you want to go ahead, but if you also just want to go, he might be doing that. So he's basically going, which is cool. 12, 11, 10, and then 3, 4, 3. Definitely with some vibrato on that last note, which is cool. And then he basically starts off just doing that on the low E string, and then the last 2 notes there are guitar up here on the A string on the 10th and 11th fret. Octave higher, right? That's the theme for a lot of the harmonies. Those are octaves. And that's pretty much all the harmonies for the verse. There's a variation of that lick, like I mentioned before, with he does this near the end of the song. He starts it off like this. Oh, he actually starts it off on the E string. So the first half there's no harmony, right? So and then he what does he do? He plays this. This is the harmony. This is the octave lower. And that's basically it, right? I apologize. I just realized that it does not start on the E with that one. It actually just starts on the B. And that time he doesn't walk down to the 1 fret lower than you expect. He does what he does with the E string. I think that's what was confusing me, but he just goes, and then there's the harmony with that, which is 11, 12, 11 on the E, on the A. Sorry. So that's pretty much all the variations on those licks. And then we get into the, I guess you'd call bridge, the break, where it goes rip Van Winkle, rip Van Winkle, which is really neat when they do that live. But on the recording, there's a cool lick where it goes like this. All right, so that's just 12 and 10 on the high E, and then he pedals that 12th fret of the B, and there's also a harmony where another guitar is playing while the other guitar is playing. And also on that, that sounds fine on its own, but I'm pretty sure there's an octave there, so you can play that either here on the G, or you can play it on the D up at the 14 and 12. Right? And, you know, I'm just teaching all this stuff because I think it's really cool that there's all these different guitar tracks, especially for the fact that they made this album on a 4-track. I think it's cool there's all these harmonies and stuff, even if they sound pretty chaotic. But hey, I guess that contributes to the mood of the song. So after this, we get into this lick. There's 2 guitars here, and they're both kind of doing crazy, weird, chromatic walk downs and walk ups. So we'll do that. The first one's doing this. That's the best that I can discern from it. So that's just on the B string from the 8th to the 5th fret, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then doing the same thing on the G string, same thing on the D string, and then resolving on the E note on the 7th fret of the A. So that's just. But the other guitar is playing this while it's doing. The other guitar, as far as I can figure, is basically doing something along the lines of this, starting off on the 5th of the D. As long as you resolve up here on the, was it 15, 17, 19 of the D, and do like a big bend there. That's basically all that matters. Just starting in the right spot, doing a chromatic walk up. You could just do it with one finger if you want. If you want to get messy, then that's fine. But I like to do it with the 4 fingers at a time. And I think he's missed once he gets up here to the 12. He's probably doing something like this. yeah, that's basically it. So you can skip whatever notes you want after the 12th fret. Because it's not really going to sound that coherent anyway with that weird. So. And then Rip Van Winkle, Rip Van Winkle. And then the end of the song is going to be a bunch of unison bends. So, of course, unison bends, full step on the G string while your B string is a whole step lower, 2 frets lower. So I'm gonna be referring to them on this is 14th and 12th. But I'm referring to them of what string the G string is on. So we're starting off on 14th. Then we go up to 16th. Then we go 17th, 18th, and then we finally end it on the 19th frets. Sorry. He plays that twice, and it's very kind of short bends, right? He mutes them after he stops playing them real quick. And that's when he closes the song. But again, when they play this live, they just kind of end it like. Basically, that's how they end it. So yeah, thanks for watching this lesson. Hope you got a lot out of it. And look forward for I'll Be Your Johnny on the Spot. Really unique song, and I'm thankful for the request, which was requested by the same person who requested this song. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Have fun playing this song. Take care.